is we talked about how to create an outline. And what we're doing is we were creating an outline using a topic that we're all familiar with so that we can build our outline up for the Black History. And so what we were doing is we chose a topic, and everybody agreed that we're going to use SpongeBob SquarePants as our topic. And then after that, we come up with some points that we want to make about SpongeBob, and we use what we call Roman numerals to actually do that. And Roman numeral 1, up under Roman numeral 1, we have a point A, point B, and point C. You can have as many points as you like, point A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I probably wouldn't get past G because it would get too messy. But I would probably definitely try to keep it at 3 points, at least 3 details that you want to talk about. These are our details. This is what we call our subtopic, right? And our subtopic is going to be something related to who SpongeBob SquarePants is. And that was what our first question was, is who is SpongeBob SquarePants? Now, when you write your paragraph up under here, you're going to write about who is SpongeBob SquarePants, and we wrote that in. Who is SpongeBob SquarePants? And then we want to help to write our points or to build our paragraph. We're going to use these minor details that come up under that, and we mark them A, B, and C. So to help me know who SpongeBob SquarePants is, I wrote down what? Who can tell me? What is the first thing that we wrote down? Oh, you chose this, but so go ahead, Lanaya.
SpongeBob is a
Yeah, SpongeBob is a sponge. So I'm going to actually write in SpongeBob is a sponge, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what it means that he's a sponge. And then after that, B, I'm going to tell you what? Yes.
He lives under the sea.
Yeah, under the sea, and that's going to keep me writing my paragraph. I'm going to talk about him being a sponge and him living under the sea, and then all of this is going up under who is SpongeBob. And then Titus told us that he's also wacky. So I'm going to talk about him being wacky. He's a sponge who lives under the sea, and he's very wacky. And that's enough for me to build a nice little paragraph piece about who he is. So if we're going to write, that would almost fill up half of your page right there, those details right there. And then you would come down here and you would talk about when does SpongeBob live? That would still be a topic in Roman numeral 2 under our main topic. This would be our second subtopic, which would talk about when did the SpongeBob live. And remember, we try to use 5 W's to try to answer our questions about when we're writing something. What are those 5 W's, class?
When, where, who, why, and where.
Where, yeah. Who, what, when, where, why, and what do we say? Who, what, when, where, why, and
who,
what?
where,
Okay, so
when.
anyway, I think there was one more in there. But anyway, we got who, and when in this one. So we said number 2 was when did SpongeBob live? We just kind of came up with that. Just, again, by just us brainstorming. When did SpongeBob live? And so to help us to write our paragraph again up under when did SpongeBob live, which would fit up under the topic, the entire topic of SpongeBob SquarePants, we would be starting out by saying SpongeBob was born, and somebody made up this and said in 1989. I don't know whether that's true. And Jose said it, and he presently lives now. He also lived through the Great Fruit Wars. And again, there was some fruit wars that apparently were going on up underwater. Not really, but we need to make up some things about SpongeBob. And he did live through the fishing trials of the Great Hookings, and that was the episode that covered him actually being carried up by the hook. And so somebody put that in there and said that was a clever kind of thing to talk about. And they would build up a nice paragraph using these 3 points here. And again, you can put other points in here, or you can even shorten your points and maybe just even have 1 or 2 points as opposed to having 3 points. It's up to you as the writer. And then the third thing we said is we used another W, and we tried to come up with another question that would fit up under who SpongeBob is. And we said, where did SpongeBob come from? And then that was the third thing. And we said, well, we probably should talk about his place of birth. And B, SpongeBob's parents, because we know he comes from his parents. And we want to talk about his community of origin. Where did he originally come up? All of this said so that we can get ready for the writing process. And we're just using SpongeBob because, again, SpongeBob is something you know. But you're going to be writing about something that you don't know, and you're going to be researching about that. So I want you to keep up with this SpongeBob outline so that you can have an idea about what you're going to write about seriously. Some people say they were going to write about Martin Luther King. Some people said they were going to write about Emmett Till, and others said that they were going to write about Abraham Lincoln. Whoever you write about during this Black History season, realize that you're going to be using an outline that's very similar. All right? Thanks, and I hope this